If you've just discovered the kettlebell and you really want to find out what weight you're supposed to pick up, then let me help you with this video, because choosing the wrong weight will not only increase the risk of injury, it will also warp your perception of what kettlebell training really is. Привет, veteran! Gregory from Lebe here. On this channel, we're about all things kettlebell. So if this is your first time here, consider subscribing. Now, before we get started with the weight recommendation, you want to understand your kettlebell first. And by comparing it with means and training equipment that you already know, I want to help you discover the distinguishing factor of kettlebell training. While there are some key differences between plate-loaded machines, dumbbells, and barbells, the biggest differentiating factor of the kettlebell is the ballistic aspect of it. The ballistic element means that we have momentum going. So a ballistic exercise with the kettlebell would be, for example, a swing. A clean. Or a snatch. Now, of course, you can use the kettlebell for grinding lifts, such as a deadlift or a goblet squat. But the kettlebell shines the most when it comes to the ballistics. And you want to make sure that you're choosing a proper weight which touches all the bases. So you can use it for the grinding lifts as well as for the ballistics. So let's talk about weight recommendations for beginners. I got in my hand on my left side an 8-kilogram kettlebell and on my right side a 12-kilogram kettlebell. So females, if you're a woman and you're just starting out, I recommend a 8-kilogram kettlebell. If you're a man and you're just starting out, I'm recommending a 12-kilo kettlebell. Now, you've maybe seen even lighter weights than 8 kilograms, and there's a reason why we don't recommend choosing a lighter weight than 8 kilo or a 6, a 4, a 3, or whatever. Using very lightweight will warp the aforementioned perception of what kettlebell training is supposed to be and feel like. So lightweight means I don't have to use my hips or my leg muscles. I can use my arms alone because it's so easy. I don't feel it anywhere, and my arms are capable of moving the weight because it's so light. And in kettlebell training, we mostly work the midsection, especially the legs, the thighs, the hams, and the glutes. And if the weight is too light, you'll never engage those muscles because you don't need to. So an 8 kilo or a 12 kilo respectively touches all the necessary bases and works perfectly for a basic workout with, let's say, 3 exercises, such as the deadlift, a strict press, and a goblet squat, or even just a bodyweight squat. Let's touch on that easy, basic workout a little bit. Choosing those exercises, a deadlift, a squat, and a press, means they have very low technical requirements. I do recommend learning the complex exercises and maybe even the basics if you don't feel sure with a coach by your side. But sometimes you just want to get going. You got your kettlebells, they have just arrived, they're in your home, and you want to get a workout going. So for that reason, I would recommend these 3 exercises that are pretty basic. Now, if you're looking for a detailed guide to show you these exercises in detail, then check out this video. If you're looking for a video that explains the proper protocol of a basic workout in detail, then check out this video. So now let's talk about the rules of progressive overload, because once you're set and ready to go and you start working with the kettlebell, you want to know, when can I actually progress to the next level? We have 4 rules when it comes to progressive overload, and most people choose the last rule that we have in our book, which is the weights. Now, there's a reason why in our book it's the last one, because there are other modifiers that you can use to progressively move forward. Now, let's demonstrate the 4 rules of progressive overload with this basic workout that I just showed you. Let's take the deadlift, the press, and the squat, for example. The first thing that you can modify is the time. Let's say you do 1 minute deadlift, 1 minute of the press, and 1 minute of the goblet squat. What can you do? Increase the time. Now the next workout, you're doing 1 minute and 30 seconds. Easy stuff. You keep working for 90 seconds, and this is the so-called for time method, which we love and advocate. You can put this up to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. However, we recommend when you do 3 exercises, go for the max of 2 minutes each. That will equal to 6 minutes of a complete workload or volume that you have when you design your workout. The second method is do more reps. There is an acronym that is called RPM. That means reps per minute. Now, how does that work? Let's take the deadlift. Now, you're working for 2 minutes with an easy pace. Go faster. Do more reps in the given amount of time. Let's talk about rule number 3. Decrease the rest you need to complete the workout. There are 2 types of recovery that we're going to take a look at right now. The first type is the short-term recovery. That means how much rest do you need done with the deadlift to transition into the press. And then transition. Oh, what did that guy on YouTube tell me? Oh my God. Into the goblet squat. This is the short-term recovery. So that means the rest in between the exercises or even in between the reps. Maybe you do a couple of reps, then you have to put the kettlebell down. The second type of recovery is training recovery. That means how much rest do you need in between workouts? Maybe the first workout, it takes you 2 to 3 days, maybe then 2 days, and maybe then just 1 day. So you try to decrease the rest as a modifier of progressive overload. And now here comes the last one on the list. Increase the weight. Jump up from an 8 kilogram to a 12 kilogram. And the reason why it's last on the list is very simple. These 3 modifiers mean that you can make your workout harder without using heavier weight, because using heavier weight mostly increases the chance that you may injure yourself. So choosing a lighter weight means you have safety, you feel strong, you feel ready, you can perfect the technique without having to increase the weight, and therefore still being able to modify your workout and working progressively. Let's talk about weight increments. Maybe you have seen even the smaller ones, the jumps in 2 kilo instead of 4 kilo. And if I remember correctly, Sergey Rudnev was one of the first who put these types of increments on the map. In my humble opinion, I would recommend that you start working with 2 kilogram increments if you want to compete.
12 kilogram will be a good weight for you to start, even maybe not 16, but at least couple of trainings, maybe 6 and 10 minutes set. Just 2 trainings on 12, last training 10 minutes, and just with 2 kilo increment. Go through 12s, 14s, 16s, 18s, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. And that amount of time, that experience, these thousands of repetitions will change your technique for good, and that's what will makes you feel comfortable doing the straight legs on 28s.
On the other hand, using smaller increments means that you will have more weights to choose from and therefore having more options. Now, more options sounds good, but it's not always the best thing. Because according to Dan John, if you have multiple weights or multiple increments, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, this leaves you with more options and may confuse you. And if you ask the iconic Pavel Tsatsouline, you know what he says about these 4 kilogram increments? He says, when you jump up into 4 kilograms, they force your body to level up pretty quickly. Another factor of these massive weight jumps of 4 kilograms is the fact that you will have to perfect your technique from all angles. before trying the next increment of weight. Let's talk about professional weights for a second. And I got this from Denis Vasilev. Denis Vasilev is an 11-time kettlebell world champion, and I had the honor to interview him for 2 hours straight. So if you have 2 hours of spare time, please go watch this video. Now, what Denis told me really stuck with me, and the basic gist is the following. Using professional weights means that your technique has to be almost perfect. It has to be on a professional level because certain weights have a very high injury risk.
There's the line where, well, when it comes to kettlebells, where fitness kind of, stop and professional league start. And I think that's the line of 24 kilograms. It's either kettlebell sport, it's hard style for men. For men 24, for girls 16.
Now, if you're making a mistake, boom, hitting your leg, for example, with an 8-kilogram kettlebell is not as bad because it won't severely hurt yourself. And your body, in most cases, will be able to handle these mistakes with this weight range. However, this grace period comes to a very sudden and painful stop if you miss a snatch with the 28 kilogram. That's the orange one. And this high risk of injury is the reason, if I'm able to quote Denis correctly, why certain weight classes belong into the hands of professionals. You and I, we probably both will work with Evergreen weights. Now, what does Evergreen weights even mean? I would say after you've perfected your technique, after you've built a solid and strong foundation, you probably need only 2 weights and 2 kettlebells, therefore, for the whole year to work out with, and you're good with it. For men, that's 24 kilos. For women, that's 12 to 16 kilos. And as a bonus, let's go through the colors step by step. 8 kilogram is pink. 12 kilogram is blue. 16 kilogram is yellow. 20 kilogram is lila or violet. 24 kilogram is green. 28 kilogram is orange. And 32 kilogram is red. And if you go up to the really heavy ones, the 48s, these are golden. And we have 2 of them here in our studio, and we call them the golden girls. If you have made it this far, I want to thank you with a free kettlebell workout. You find the link in the description. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like it. Consider subscribing if this is your first time on our channel. And if you're a beginner and you're looking for something that can really help you move forward with the kettlebell and maybe improve your nutrition, because in real life we are focused on people helping to lose weight with the power of the kettlebell and some easy nutrition coaching, then check out 90 Days of Kettlebells. You'll find the link in the description.